Number 10. Black Mamba. The black mamba, endemic to the African continent, is arguably the most intimidating snake on the planet. Its venom contains highly potent neurotoxins, in addition to other toxic compounds. Untreated bites have a mortality rate of 100%, as victims' neurological, respiratory, and cardiovascular systems are rapidly and ruthlessly attacked. It's the fastest acting venom of any snake. Dry bites are virtually non-existent, as the mamba will deliver venom almost 100% of the time. Its fangs are the longest of any elapid snake, and their positioning right at the front of the mouth enhances venom delivery. The snake is also massive, highly aggressive, and incredibly fast. In fact, with a top slithering speed of up to 12 miles per hour, the black mamba is the fastest land snake on record. Even witnessing its threat display is a nightmarish sight, as the snake will open its black mouth, which is actually the source of its common name. Number 9. Lion. Lion prides produce some of the most ferocious hunters in the animal kingdom, but the social behavior typical of their groups is rather brutal. Males are the most dominant members of the pride, and they're primarily tasked with defense. Violent territorial disputes often arise. There's fierce competition, not only from other predators but also from usurping outside males. After the existing pride kings are ousted and new alpha males emerge, all existing lion cubs are typically killed. In fact, up to 80% of all lion cubs die before the age of 2. The usurpers themselves, having been ousted from a pride upon reaching sexual maturity, won't raise cubs that aren't of their blood. Additionally, females won't become fertile or receptive to mating until their cubs are mature or dead. Lionesses will fiercely defend their young but have little chance of prevailing against males individually, unless they're joined by other mothers within the pride. Number 8. Giant Deathstalker. Most scorpion species are prolific hunters that will use their pincers to control or crush victims and their stingers to subdue them. A scorpion's sting can be remarkably swift at only 0.75 seconds. The arachnid will cover its prey in digestive juices, which liquefy its body, thus enabling the scorpion to suck up nutrients. Even scorpion mating is a rather ruthless affair. A male and a female will interlock pincers and engage in something called promenade à deux. It's a type of dance in which they hold pincers while moving forward and backwards as they face each other. The male will then sting the female to pacify her and guide her to a sperm sac he'd laid on the ground. Sexual cannibalism has also been occasionally reported in scorpions. Aside from owning all the terrifying characteristics typical of its kind, Southern Africa's giant deathstalker is also capable of spraying its neurotoxic venom. Like with a few other species in the Parabuthus genus, this behavior is meant to cause temporary blindness and affects the victim's respiratory system. It thus leaves prey at the giant deathstalker's mercy, which, much like its name would suggest, is virtually inexistent. Number 7. Stargazer. The stargazer is commonly known as the meanest thing in creation, and the reasons for that are hard to dispute. These predatory fish typically bury themselves in the sand, and some species possess fleshy, worm-like appendages on the floor of their mouth, which they can wiggle to lure in prey. They quietly wait for their victims to come within range. From their camouflage positions, these creatures will then leap upwards with their large mouths open to ambush passing invertebrates or small fish. Above their pectoral fins, stargazers have 2 large venomous spines, which they can use to impale prey and would-be predators. Aside from these weaponized spines, some species are also capable of delivering electric shocks. A stargazer's electric organs can derive from modified eyes or sonic organs, thus complementing their venomous sting with an electric shock. Number 6. Great Grey Shrike. These songbirds are not only capable of taking prey nearly equal to their size, but they're also known for a ruthless hunting behavior that's rather unique in the animal kingdom. Commonly referred to as the butcher bird, the great grey shrike will swoop down on its intended prey, which mainly consists of small rodents. It will then strike at the victim's skull with its hooked beak. If the animal is tougher to kill or too large to be consumed on the spot, the great grey shrike will carry it to a feeding spot. Since the bird's claws aren't suitable for tearing into flesh, it will typically impale prey upon a spike The bird may use a thorny bush or even a barbed wire fence. From that point on, the shrike can use its beak to gouge out more manageable chunks. Whenever food is scarce, the bird may choose to return to the feeding spot. Creatures which the shrike recognizes as toxic won't be consumed right away, as it will wait until the noxious chemicals become degraded. The bird has even been observed impaling and skinning common toads alive to get around their poisonous skin. Number 5. Praying mantis. Praying mantis species are known to effectively operate as ambush predators, but also as active pursuers. Prey is grabbed with the raptorial forelegs and held securely as the mantis plunges its mandibles into the victim and decapitates it. These ferocious insects generally target arthropods, but some have even been documented killing hummingbirds and other small bird species. The manner in which this is done is quite horrific. The birds are bitten directly into the head or throat. Some will have holes chewed in their heads so that the mantis can feed on their brains. The birds are sometimes scalped, decapitated, or defeathered by the mantis. Sexual cannibalism is infamous among mantises. Strangely enough, if mating has already begun, decapitating the male will result in a more vigorous release of reproductive material. To change the female's desire from feeding to mating, males will sometimes engage them in a courtship dance. Number 4. Asian black bear. Numerous reports on the Asian black bear have profiled this creature as being much more aggressive than the brown bears of Eurasia and the black bears of North America. It's believed that the Asian black bear has evolved a higher predisposition to violence because of shared territory with tigers, which are among the world's most skilled predators. The Himalayan black bear subspecies seems to have earned a particularly fierce reputation. There are reports of people being scalped and horribly mutilated by the beasts. They're also known to attack without provocation. If a hunter fails to make the killing shot, the Asian black bear becomes incredibly dangerous, as it will viciously charge its aggressor. A significant number of hunters have died in this manner. After mauling the victim with its claws, the bear will bite down on one of their limbs and then snap at their head. The second person in history to receive a face transplant, Li Gaoxing, was actually the victim of a black bear attack. Number 3. Wolverine. At the upper limits of its recorded weight, a wolverine is only about 77 pounds. The predatory feats that this animal can accomplish in spite of its size are outstanding. According to one report, a wolverine was put in the same zoo enclosure with a polar bear. Almost immediately, the mustelid attacked the hypercarnivorous apex predator. It reportedly kept its jaws clamped on the polar bear's throat until it suffocated. There have been reports of wolverines taking out moose that outweighed them by up to 20 times. To put that discrepancy into perspective, it would be like a house cat taking down a deer. Even though it's in the same family as weasels, badgers, or otters, the wolverine more closely resembles a small bear. It has one of the least specialized diets in the animal kingdom, feeding on anything from carrion to bison and the largest of deer species, namely moose, elk, and reindeer. The wolverine will prey on wolf or coyote pups and might even attempt to steal kills from grizzlies. Its gluttonous drive is supported by a muscular build, crampon-like claws, and a robust skull with powerful jaws. Wolverines have an upper molar at the back of their mouth that's rotated 90 degrees towards the inside. This makes it easier for them to tear through frozen meat. Number 2. Black-footed ferret. The black-footed ferret is such a ruthless hunter that its prey is actually included in its common name. This specialized killer is often referred to as the prairie dog hunter. The ferret will stalk, chase, or ambush its prey. One technique involves the black-footed ferret sneaking into the prairie dog's den at night. The victim is woken up by a ferret paw strike. As the prairie dog raises its head, the animal's vital regions are exposed. The ferret's attack is swift and merciless. Not only does it kill the prairie dog in its own home, but the ferret will also take shelter in its prey's empty dwelling.
Official They Will Kill You merchandise is now available at theywillkillyou.com. Some of it is to die for.
Number 1. Grasshopper mouse. The grasshopper mouse seems to defy all that is known about its animal family. Whereas mice are usually the victims of venomous creatures, the grasshopper mouse actively pursues them as prey. Aside from harmless insects like the grasshopper, the mouse's diet includes spiders, snakes, centipedes, and scorpions. While taking on a centipede, it will remain outside the range of its toxic claws and repeatedly bite through its hard exoskeleton. The mouse continues to do this until the centipede's nervous system is damaged and it becomes paralyzed. It feeds on and has evolved to resist the highly venomous bark scorpion in a rather interesting manner. The rodent has developed sensory neurons that reject the toxins and prevent the transmission of pain signals. The mouse will barely notice the scorpion's sting and is also immune to a number of other venomous predators. Its species-defying traits don't end here, nor does its ruthlessness. In captivity, the grasshopper mouse will kill and eat other mice if they're put in the same enclosure. In the wild, they'll stalk and sneak up on their prey in a manner similar to that of a cat and defend their territories by giving out a wolf-like howl. Thanks for watching. Would you rather jump into a pit of black mambas or be locked in a basement with a giant rabid wolverine? Let us know in the comments section below.